Hey guys, it's Chicken Water here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, as always, covering the hot topics in Transformers Earth Wars. Apologies for the late start. I actually started my stream, and it's only when someone, aka London's Calling, in the chat said, I think was I forgot to go live, that I realised I'd actually been talking to myself for the last 10 minutes. Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, apologies for the late start, guys. I'm literally going to go over everything I've just spoke about for 10 minutes again. Cool, eh? What have we got on today's stream? Let's actually go back to the page we're on. So, we've got... we're going to take a look at the 5-star batch. Give our verdict on that, as always. I think there's some more changes to come. I think they're trying to release it by next week. It was scheduled for this week, but I don't think it's quite ready. So there's that. We're going to take a look at Powerglide and Cyclonus as well, who are already in the game. Kind of. Then we're going to do a combiner tier list. I think it's a bit too early for bots, really, because there's going to be a few changes still to come, I think. Quite soon, we'll probably do our bot tier list after that. But I think a combiner tier list is there or thereabouts, so we're doing that as well. And then we're going to be announcing something new. I'm just going to leave it at that. Something new, but I'm excited for it anyway. But yeah. Cool. Right, let's say some hellos. Again. So we've got Darklands, who was first. We've got Grind Time, Trax and Stephen Gomez, who are some of my long-serving members and moderators, so thank you for joining as well. I'm going to give him another plug. CF Tactics in the chat as well. He did a cool thing with Freeze, sort of an interview yesterday, which was not like to do with the game in terms of like, you know, how they play the game and things like that. It was more like which bots they like, which they don't like, and just a bit of backstory into the streamers, which was really good, really cool. And I've also spoken to CF. I sort of hit him up and said, like, you know, hey, where's my invite? But I understand that him and Freeze are obviously a bit tighter than we are. So yeah, hopefully we'll be on CF Tactics channel soon, guys. So obviously I'll get that plug on my channel, and we can yeah, beware for me to get into for a change. But yeah, be cool. Then we've got Dishon as well, London's Calling. Again, thanks for the heads up, bud. If you want to put that, I'd have still been sat here now going through the whole stream. We've got Twilight, we've got Matty, we've got Carnage McAlright, who's come back as well this week. We've got my buddy Vic Jing. It was good to meet you again. Just want to plug that as well. It was really cool. We've got my buddy Candyman, who'll be so happy that Cyclonus is in the game. We've got Giga, we've got Jason Rowley. We've got... Who else have we got? Oops, jumped ahead. We've got my buddy Soldier as well. Go and check his channel out, guys, as well as obviously CF's. We've got Soundblast51. We've got Cube as well in the chat, who's one of the apes. Thanks for stopping by. Who else have we got? We've got Dread81 as well. We've got Blockboy. How's it going? We've got Joseph Torillo. And Meta Bear, who's put Val, winky face. I don't think Val's in this chat somehow. Yeah, and I think that is everyone. Cool. Good to see you guys. Yeah, and CF Tactics to spot. Your next was up. Well, who else is it going to be? Let's see what everyone else is put in the chat. Obviously, anything we're going to cover this week, I want to talk about. Yeah, the newsletter's not out, sadly, so I won't be covering the newsletter today. Let's have a look. As the I think they have announced though the event, but I'm going to try and find it because sometimes I never try and find it on Discord. Yes, so this weekend's event is an Alliance event. It's 500k, so you know, you're looking at 12k per person. It's 2 random 4-star raiding or Dino King parts. If you've got the 4-star parts, you'll get 250 combiner sparks, so I presume it's 500k for the 2. We've got some XP and 350,000 combiner spark as well. I need that. It's the 1 spark I'm low on now. Some R13. It's good to have that in the event. I don't really need it myself, but I'm sure players do. So that's good. 2,500 4-star shards, 7,500 3-star shards, some premium crystals, I like energon. So yeah, standard event really. I like the fact they've upgraded the reward a bit, but it's still some work to go. But that's pretty cool. Deshaun, will the game have more collabs in the future? Doubtful, but you never know. There's always My Little Pony. What else? Outlines, did you answer your own questions? I don't think I'm that much of a psycho. Let's have a look. Darklands buff ruination. I'd love to talk about that. Give Optimus's trailer. I thought the Nala reference as well. Ever. What else? Event was out Tuesday. Yeah, they did bring it out a couple of days ago. Boring Binary Alliance event. Yeah, I don't mind it though. It's given some combiners back. I always think, listen, no matter what event they can do, unless it's a new bot or something, then it's not gonna really get me excited really, unless it's something new. So I kind of get, but I understand that some players that are lower that haven't got everything. So I understand putting these resources in the event, and that's why I do like to see some events that have got rewards in there that we haven't had for a while. It just kind of helps the free to play and the newer players sort of get these rewards, and it just gives them something to play the event for, you know. So yeah, I don't mind it. Carnage Mac, alright. Let's put any more drama today. Was his comment in PT chat about Shadow Nurse crap me up good. In the PT chat? I'm not in the PT chat. PT chat? I'm not in the PT chat. What do you mean another chat? What do I chat you on about? Don't know what you're on about. But yeah, no more drama. It's done now. It is what it is. I'm not really fussed. I'm not going to keep going on about it. I've said my piece. I still stand by it. I'm not going to backtrack. And yeah, every single thing that I said is true and how I believe it. You know. So yeah, I've always been that way. You know, it's sort of. I'm gonna lie. One thing I will say though is it's quite frustrating when people have watched me for years and they've said, yeah, I like Wazza because he tells the truth and he's always brutally honest, which is true. And Dale knows that, and Callum knows that, and they know that, you know, I will give it to them if I believe they're wrong or they've got a fault or something. And then all of a sudden something else happens, and then people are like, yeah, Wazza's a liar. Like I've just changed overnight. Like I've decided that, you know, and people are like, oh yeah, you were against Space Ape, but now you're for Dale. No, that was never the case. I was never against Space Ape. I was on the side of what was right, and I've always said that. Listen, if the players are wrong, I will gladly say the players are wrong. If the apes are wrong, I will gladly say they are wrong. If I feel they are right, I will say they are right. I am on the side of what I believe is right. That's it. I'm not on no one's side. I'm not going to always go on the side of the players if I think they're wrong. I'm not going to always go on the side of the apes. You know, I'm literally going on the side of what I feel is right. And that will always be the case as long as I am doing this on this channel. It will always be the way. Always going to tell the truth and always follow my morals and what I believe in. So that's not going to change, guys. So if I say something, I do believe it. Whether it's true or not, I believe that. So yeah. What else? Will we finally see the merged form of the Heralds? The what? I don't have a clue what that is all about. Unless it's some secret code or something. Not a clue. Darklands, I have 10 mil Binary Spark. Oh, look at you. Another 1,000 Spark Crystals. We need a... Yeah, I've got a lot of Spark Crystals. I've got like 900, I think. Something like that. So, yeah. Grind Time, Mouthpiece of Dale's in my new band. I know, yeah. That was someone... You know, if you're going to insult me, come up with something good. Like, someone was like, you're Dale's dog. Dale's mouthpiece. I'm like... Really? Is that it? Is that all you've got? Come on, you're going to call me something. Come on, come up with something pretty clever. Come on, guys. I don't mind a good put down. Honestly, I don't. I quite like it, as long as there's some imagination in there. But come on, if you're going to put someone down, make it funny. You know. Deshaun's, but we need a Bayverse Prime skin. No, 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 no. I hate Bay Farmers, hate Bayverse, hate it with a passion. Even though I'm a sucker and will still go see all the films, but no, not a fan at all. To the point where when I was at TF Nation, Dale was gonna buy one, and I was like, do not buy that. Do not buy that, honestly. Honestly, you think the community are against you now? Buy that and try and give that away on stream, and we'll see. Yeah, Jason Rowley's like, Bayverse is banned here. Spinal787, I did see him further in the chat back, so welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. But no Bayverse. Yeah, I agree. I understand people like it, but it ain't for me. It ain't for me. Yeah, Dread81's put nothing in P chat other than Snapdragon stuff. Yep, pretty much, and we'll talk about that later. Sharks has put Mouth of Dale. Are you the Mouth of Sauron? Well, if you ask some people, then they'll tell you I am. Yeah, I'm the devil reincarnated. And Bobby's joined the stream as well. One of my favourite apes. He is cool, Bobby. I like Bobby. I still need to make a Bobby meme, but I've not. Yeah. Bobby's incognito, that's the difference. You can find most people on Facebook or somewhere or on the stream or something, but Bobby's incognito, that's a problem. Cool. Okay, so like I said, no newsletter, so we're literally going to go straight into the subjects what we're going to talk about, yeah. Cool. As you can see, because I've got a green t-shirt on, I'm literally see-through, so you can see the game behind me. Do that's a good thing or not, I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And Joseph Armon has put, what's your thoughts on the next 5-star batch? Literally doing that now, literally. Cube of Water Hollows. Yeah, this is the new Water Hollow. That's a good idea. I like that. Transport. Yeah, you were not really see-through. Well, kind of am. You can sort of see it there that I kind of am. Ish. Cool. Right. Anyway, so onto the 5-star batch. So no changes to Wing Saber and Dreadwing, I believe. Let me just get it up to make sure. I just want to make sure I got these facts right. And no changes to Vector Prime or Nova. I do believe that a while back they did improve the hollows, but generally they're considered that they're polished and done. Orion Pax and D16 have had an improvement. Let me just scroll for this to let you get it all in the chat. Give me a sec, guys. Sorry. I had it up then and then scrolled right to the top and then went away from where I was starting. So Orion Pax has got a new ability 11, which is reduce the beacon target down to 25%, which will grant allies nearby 20% lifesteal for 10.5 seconds. Destroying the target resets the countdown for this effect. So my big problem with D16 and with Orion Pax since the start was how much information is in their tooltip. And what they've done is, for ability 11, they've added more confusion even to the tooltip. So if we take a look at his tooltip now, it is probably, is it the biggest tooltip in the game? I think so. So, reading this, so fire a weapon that deals 2,393 damage to the target. Now, straight off, 2,393 damage is pretty crap. But it is 3 ability points, and it is, I would say, to do with healing, so it's more support. So, okay, let's just forget that for a minute. Upon hit, the weapon splits into 4 more weapons. So it goes into 4, targeting nearby defenses or enemy bots. So it's going to go where bots or defenses are. Each weapon places a pulse on its target for 10.5 seconds that heals allies in range for 40% of the target's DPS per second. So if it hits a bot, then 40% of that DPS is going to be a lot more than of a defense, because obviously a bot on defense has like 1,000 DPS, so that's going to be 400. Where if we look at most defenses, they've got a lot less. You're talking 277 DPS and even like 1,127, I suppose, on the MDS. So beam lasers, MDS, yeah, more just MDS really. So basically, to take advantage of it, you've got to hit the MDS, basically. Anything less than that, pretty crap. So bots and MDS, that's what you're looking for to get the most out of it in terms of DPS. Allies can be healed by multiple pulses at once, so if it hits 4, but then again you can't really control where it's going because you hit the first target and then it shoots off, so I'm not sure how you're going to do that. Reducing the beacon target down to 25%, so once the defense that it hits, which you can't really control apart from the first one, down to 25%, grant allies nearby 20% lifesteal for 10.5 seconds. Destroying the target resets the countdown again. So you can get double the time. So you can get like 21 seconds out of healing. So you've also got then his G1 where he gains 17.4% healing. Is that the healing ability or is that himself? I think it's himself. When you use your ability, you gain stealth for 6 seconds. Stealth for 6 seconds is pretty crap. Because you still get hit by AoE and 6 seconds is nothing in a battle. But, anyway, let's give it a go. So, let's put Orion Pax down. Let's see how it works. Obviously, this has been in the game for quite a while, but we'll get it going again so people can get refreshed. So, we're going to aim for the nearest defense. If I can. And then it's going to split off into 4. So straight away, it's split into 2, I think. Let's try it again. Let's watch carefully. Yeah, it's split into 2. I'm pretty sure the tooltip said 4. Upon hit, the weapon splits into 4 more weapons. So, straight away, it's not doing as it should. It should be 4. And the question you've got to ask is, this has been in the game now for a year. And so, why has this not been picked up on? In a year? And I think generally, the problem is that no one uses him really, at a decent level. And the big question there is, why? Because, there's quite a bit of healing there, and it's cheap at 3+2, it's support, so why is no one using Orion Pax? So the big problem with the Orion Pax is that we hit the target, and then the healing goes off to other sources. Now at this point here, we're looking at around here, around here, around here. But generally, when we're attacking, doing a walk or things like that, we try and keep our bots together. And this is sort of spreading the healing out in a wide range. And me personally, I feel like it's hard to take advantage of that because most of your bots are far away. You can see Orion Pax is right back here. And he's finding his first ability at the first defense. And he's even struggling to even reach that one. So it's not going to heal your gunners. And your warriors don't really need healing that much. It needs to hit your gunners. So the question you've got is, do you increase the range? Maybe it's a bit OP because you're putting so much healing in there. Do you increase the spread of the other healing things, weapons? I don't know, but then I thought to myself, I'm going to try something. So I thought, how can we look at this and maybe utilise it to a good advantage? And then I thought of something that Dale said. So we're talking about Snarl and improving Snarl behind the scenes, and I said that, he's had so many buffs, it's just not good enough, basically, he can't stay alive. And I think Dale's opinion, and again I'm just guessing here, was that, we can't just keep having bots that are powerful and shielded, and we've got to have some different bots with different utilities. And Dale said, I feel like Snarl's use is that you would rush a warrior in to take the damage, and you would use Snarl to clear up behind And my response was that Snarl's still not doing enough damage to clear up. When we look at Snarl, I don't want to get too much into Snarl, but it's just 4,000 damage total. It's not a lot of damage. But then I thought, maybe if we use Orion Pax behind a warrior and Snarl, maybe we can keep him alive for good effect. So let's try and keep Snarl alive. We've got a Malgus on him already. So we're going to drop the heal. And then we're going to rush in with Snarl. And you can see it is doing alright healing wise. It's at 25% now. But it's still not healing enough. And generally I just feel like where the heals are is just too far away from where your bots are. It just doesn't do enough. I don't mind the idea of it. It's something a bit different. I have said I like things that are innovative. But it's just not there. And that's the problem. They've tried sort of giving Orion Pax a bit of a buff at ability 11. But, you know, there's no point in giving a bot ability 11 when the ability itself isn't utilised properly because it doesn't work correctly or doesn't work how it maybe should. So there's still quite a bit of work on Orion Pax to make him a worthwhile bot, a good support bot, and a bot that people are going to chase. So in terms of Wingsaber, Dreadwing, Vector, and Nova, I know that me and Freeze have our back and forth about Vector and Nova, but if he likes it, then it must have some value. I can see an alternative to Rook, although it's not my cup of tea. I kind of get that he's got a use. It's not too bad. Wingsaber and Dreadwing, I use Wingsaber sometimes on my team, but don't quite do enough damage for me. And I always find combo bots to be quite expensive, hence why people don't use Cliff Jumper. So I'm not sold on Wingsaber, but I do think he's alright. He's got a place in the meta, he's got somewhere where he can be utilised. So then we go on to Jetfire Sky Striker. So sadly, I don't have the 5-star version. I've only got the 4-star version. So looking at the 4-star version, so obviously it's 10% more stats. So you're looking at around 6,000 damage and then also firing 20 missiles, each dealing 374 in an area. So you're talking 6,000 damage and then you're talking 400 times 20. So 8k damage, so 14k damage it sounds like. It sounds like that. That sounds crazy good. And now I've got 5-star Jetfire Striker. So that means I've got to level him up. So thanks, Bobby. But now I've got to level him up. Right, grind time. It's time for your dancing again. Grind time's got a dance to keep everyone occupied. Sorry, guys. To be fair, I should have asked for him earlier. Where is it? What? What? Have I got him in? What's going on here? Am I going mad? Am I going blind here? Where was it? You've just seen me leveling, right? Am I losing it here? Am I losing it here? Am I losing something here? Am I actually losing the plot? Oh, it's disappeared. Oh, he's maxed it. That's why I've got to close it then. Thanks, Bobby. Blazes thought he got nerfed. Cuddy Fox Sky Striker is so stealth, he's unseeable. He's the John Cena. It's the John Cena of Earth Wars. There we go. Thanks, Bobby. Much appreciated, mate. Thank you. Okay. Let's get rid of this 4-star rate. Let's have what the 5-star does. He got nerfed live. Okay, let's take a look. So taking a look at Jetfire Sky Striker. He's doing 6,466 damage and then firing 20 missiles, dealing 431 damage each. Or is that in an area? It doesn't help with the new tooltips. You know, Dale sort of did this thing where you put normal damage and total damage, where 431, is that per rocket or is that total? Don't know, but we'll give it a go anyway. The rockets are able to bounce additional target, dealing 20% of their damage, and obviously can equip EO cores and obviously range combats. So I think that when we're using Jetfire Sky Striker, we have to compare him to the likes of Firefly and to the likes of Jetfire. Very easy comparison, because obviously Jetfire is 4+2, Firefly is 4+2, and Jetfire Sky Striker is 4+2. So very similar comparisons. So in the top levels of the game, you very rarely find people using Firefly and Jetfire, because I think by design, the shield gen is slightly out of reach for those two bots. And so all of a sudden their utility is dropped to things like build bots, beam lasers, mortars, things like that. And the kind of, other than build bots, the kind of non-essential defenses. But at 4+2, these cheaper bots take out build bots as well. So you kind of got to think, what's Firefly and Jetfire's use in the top levels of the game? Now, in Cybertron and below, they're still viable because they can still take out the shield gen, but it's sort of primary we're looking at. And if we're looking at maxed out 5-stars and where we're going to try and get to in the end game, that's where we need to see if these bots can survive and whether they can do a job. So let's take a look in the top level of the game. So maxed out base. So we're going to take a look at Jetfire. You can see there he's got his Chrome Jetfire core, so a specific core which gives him that bit extra damage than the EO. And obviously he's a core pro, ability 11. So we're going to put Jetfire down. I'm going to try to get the shield gen, and yes, there is a Micronus next to it, but this is standard for most. You can see there that it still leaves a slither of health, and that's why Jetfire at the top levels is not really that viable. So I talk about a lot about new content being better than older content. And for me, I think Jetfire Sky Striker, to be able to be better than older content and having been a bot that people want to chase, I feel like it needs to do more damage than Firefly and Jetfire. And so I feel like for Jetfire Sky Striker to be even slightly viable, even slightly, he has to take out the shield gen as a standard, as a minimum. Boom. So you can see there that he actually just about does what is said on the tin, basically. He takes out a target. Let's try on the MDS. So that NDS has Onyx, which makes it a bit more difficult to take out. And the fact that he hits it and then circles and does more damage kind of gives it a chance to heal as well. So it makes it that bit harder. So we're going to take out the shield gen. Now I'm going to try and kill this MDS. At least take one of the levels of Vector off it. And see there, not quite enough. Let's try and take out a cannon. And can't take out a cannon. So you kind of see that he has got some utility. Will that make him a new meta bot? Maybe, maybe not. I don't feel like he's like, wow. I'm not sat there going like, this is unbelievable. There are still bots that could do that, maybe more expensive than that. But I am happy that he is still better than older content. I think he's at the right place. I don't think he's a bot that everyone's going to chase. But I think he's a good bot for newer players that have got Jetfire maybe and can't really compete at the high levels to take another bot that can take out the shield gen. So I'm quite happy where Jetfire Sky Striker is. So we've got Sky Striker and Night Raven, who I feel like are at the right level. I feel like Ryan Pax and D16 are kind of write-offs. I feel like Wing Saber has got some utility. It's half decent, obviously with Dreadwing. And then Vector and Nova have got some utility as well. But nothing's wowing us right now. So that brings us on to Snapdragon. No, let's look at his tooltip first. So Snapdragon doesn't have a core of any kind to kind of improve him, and I don't mind that. Freeze was talking with CF and saying that, unpopular opinion maybe, that he doesn't like really giving bots ability 11 and cores from the get-go, and I kind of agree, because what we tend to find is, rather than those cores and ability 11 making the bot better, it kind of completes the bot, and we find that the bot in itself is not really that good. So me personally, I'd rather the bot come out like it is, and then we can use ability 11 and use the G1 core to balance the bot and bring it back into the meta again a bit further down the line, like the old process. I'm not really keen on the new process the way it is, but we'll have to wait and see if that changes or not. But currently, ability 10, but we can give it ability 11. So ability 11 is that the fireball explodes when hitting the final target, dealing half the fire damage over 10 seconds to surrounding foes. So kind of a bit like Sunstreaker, that it hits the final target and then deals a bit of AoE. So yeah, I don't mind that as ability 11. So let's oh, hang on. And then in terms of the Mach 3, unleash a giant shockwave when you hit the final target, slowing down the surrounding enemies by a flat 25%. So generally the same as the other ability, the fireball, that when it hits the target, when it lands, it does an AoE. So not a bad upgrade. So obviously Snapdragon is in the game right now, but we'll look at its tooltip regardless. So fireball, set foes on fire in a straight line, dealing 168 fire damage per second for 10 seconds. Now, for me, 1,600 damage total is pretty awful. Now, he was given a buff in playtest, but it got to a point where he could kill the HQ on his own. So, he's obviously been brought back down again. So, I think that figure will change. But we are running out of time. But that needs to do about 5 times what it's doing already. The fireball explodes when hitting the final target, dealing half damage to surrounding foes for over 10 seconds. So, for example, the half the fire damage in an area is 800 damage. 841 to be precise. That's crap. That's awful. So, forget that for a minute. And then, once on the fireball, if you use Mach 3 over the top, it's the combo element, which I like about triple changes. Flying over burning targets, causing them to explode, dealing 2,763 damage. Which doesn't make any sense. So if you use a fireball and you use Mach 3, it does more damage using those two than the ability itself. The combo bit does almost 1.5 times the damage. So it makes no real sense, but that fireball needs definitely increasing. Then Mach 3 is rushing to combat, gaining stealth. A lot of stealth coming to the game right now. I don't think there's going to be any anti-stealth Buildbot cores, we do have flare mines, but we will have more flare mines and more mines at History 19. Who knows? But anyway, rushing to combat, gaining stealth and slowing enemies by 50%. That's that cryo that we talk about because of how it's coloured. For 10 seconds, max stacks 2, so you can go there and go back and slow them by 100%. Unleash a giant shockwave when you hit the final target, slowing down the surrounding enemies by 25%. So basically it's doing cryo in an area to and from. It's 3+1, whereas the fireball is 4+2. So you would expect the fireball to be a bit more harder hitting because it's 4+2. But it's good to use the Mach 3 to sort of get him into position and be able to move around the base. So that's pretty cool, especially with the stealth. Use Fireball. Enemies slowed by the Mach 3, so when you've got in a line and done your Mach 3 over whatever defense is, take 505 fire damage per second. So basically, if you use the Mach 3, then do fire damage, it'll do 505 damage, which is 5k. So that makes no sense because it's doing 1,600 with the Fireball, but then when you use it over the Mach 3, it's 5k. Now, for 5k damage in an area, we've got to look at, we're doing 3 and then 7. But that doesn't tell the whole story. Because you're rushing away from your team, you're rushing into danger, you've only got 10 seconds of stealth, then you're doing the fireball, and you're getting 5k damage for 7 ability points. You know, when we look at other bots, other fire bots, because it is elemental, and people complain about Leo Prime, and he's doing 11.5k for 7 ability points. So I'd say Snapdragon needs to do that. But sometimes these tools can be a bit misleading. So let's take him into battle. Let's give him a go. So let's use its fireball on its own, see what that does. So we'll try and take out the Buildbot. And then what we'll do is we'll do stealth over here. See what damage we get off the stealth. So you can see there that there's no damage off the stealth at all. He's currently stunned. I don't know what he's stunned at, but he's stunned. There's a mine there. But you can see there that the fireball did about 1,000 damage. 1,600 maybe. So that's pretty woeful. But let's try and combat that Mach and that fireball and take these away. So let's try again. Let's try comboing him. So we're going to do the Mach over these defenses. You can see there it's doing no damage at all. Stunned again. So it's almost like the Mach is working on himself. Let's try something different. Did he get hacked? Oh, he got hacked. So we've got stealth there. Let's try again. We've got stealth there. Then we're going to do the fireball back on itself. We're going to try and hit here. Try and take it out. And can't quite take out a missile launcher. Now, missile launchers are one of the lowest HP defenses when you get to primary hard mode. You're talking, obviously, mines, things like that, then Buildbots. Then you're talking beam lasers and launchers. Then you're talking mortars. Then you're talking cannons. Then you're talking shock towers. And then I think it's MDS after that. And so, what's it going to be used for if you can't take out anything? And I think that some people will talk about back doors, but I feel like we can't make a bot a one-trick pony. So they have made it, as you can see there, that you can target the HQ because people are using it for that. But there's still going to be ways where you can target defenses behind the HQ. You can still sort of get him to walk into place. But ultimately, I just think there's a lot more work to be done on Snapdragon to give him some more damage. So, going back to it, Orion Pax and D16, not very good. I won't be going for them. Snapdragon, as he is, not very good. Jetfire, Sky Striker, and Skywarp, Night Raven, they're alright. But I think there's bots that can take out the shield gen already for the similar cost, or around there, and have more utility than just taking out a shield gen and a build bot. Wing Saber and Dreadwing I already have, but they're alright. And then Vector and Nova I'm not a huge fan of. So right now, I'm not a big fan of this batch as it is. And I know I'm going to do the Crystal Opens with my daughter, but I just feel like I'd be wasting my 5-star shards putting this batch right now. You know, there's nothing in there that wows me. And I know we're going through this balance patch, and we're trying to keep things equal and things like that. But I feel like everything in this batch needs to be a upgrade. I don't feel like Vector and Nova Prime are an upgrade on Rook personally. Freeze might say different, but I don't feel like it is. Wing Saber and Dreadwing sort of doing glass, gas, and damage to a target. I just feel like Warpath can do a lot more damage in a line, a bit different. Utility bot can kind of get it. Roadbuster can take out the shield gen more consistently because Wing Saber can't most of the time because it doesn't quite do enough damage and you need another bot to combo with it as well. I feel like Orion Pax and D16 Meg don't get close to anyone, not even Sandstorm. Jetfire Sky Striker doesn't get close to anyone really. He's got okay damage wise, but again, doesn't wow me. And Snapdragon's pretty woeful at the minute. So it's quite sad really that this batch has come out and we've been positive about these changes they've been doing, the balance changes and trying to stay positive and go, listen, have faith guys, they're going to improve content. And then we get another batch that's a bit mediocre. But we do have a week, but it is only a week. So we've got a week left till they want to bring out this batch. But I'm hoping that as well, sort of playtesters can get on board with this. There was a lot of focus on Snapdragon and fixing him, and a lot of focus on Snapdragon, but not enough on Orion Pax. And I feel like he needs even more work than Snapdragon does. Snapdragon needs his numbers tweaking. Orion Pax needs a whole different utility. So we'll cover him again next week when it goes live, and we can make a better judgment maybe when they've actually balanced it all. But hoping some big changes to Snapdragon and Orion Pax can make this batch at least half decent. What do you guys think as it is right now? Any bots that you can see some utility in and using? Let me know. He might support. Love the hat. Thanks. What else? Freeze's Max was as in softening on Vector. No, I'm not. Some utility. Alright, by some utility, I mean you like him. That's what I mean by that, Freeze. No, I understand they can pop outposts. I just feel like they just die too quickly. I just don't like that. So I don't like the fact that they die too quickly and then the bot's ability to then target your bots. That's what I don't like. If they had more HP or had a lot more DPS, a lot, then I can kind of see the appeal. But I don't know. Dread 81's put 5-star Snapdragon can solo the HQ as is. I think that's the problem though. Because he can solo HQ, that's why they've taken away the target of the HQ. But we do have flare mines. I've always said that, listen, things can be slightly OP if they have a counter, and we've got flare mines. So, let's have a look. What else? Darklands, try Fireball, then Mach 3. Will do. Let's give that a go. So we got Fireball. Then Mark 3. Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, Kai's Macaratis, but can't tag a HQ is a backdoor bot. What the hell? I know, but they just don't want to tag in the HQ. They don't think like anything like that tagging. They don't like bots that can solo bases at a high level today. That's true. I kind of get it. Grind time. When's the batch come out? Hopefully next week. See a Texas, but I will give this batch 18 an overall grade of C minus. Frizz Max's, but I use both Scully and Redwing. Is it a bit overkill, or can't you just use Scully twice? Is it cost effective, maybe? I don't know. I feel like if you're going to use 2 bots, it needs to take out a good space. Down to put sorry, it just jumps ahead. Can't use Snapdragons to take out Nexus Core with White Clumsy got Fire Core close. I don't know what you're saying there, mate. Sorry. Last Science put any chance at post improvement? You mean after it's released? Well, I think they're released next week, but you know, maybe. But why should it? It should be ready to go from the start. You know. Twilight, I just don't find this patch worth it, except for Nova. Jason Rose put Snapdragon don't do it for me. He stays on standby like was a heated combat, which is dial. Frizz Max put batches like a C. When do we start giving it letters? When do we start giving it a C? Freezer's put I already have what I want from it. Yeah, I've only got one bot in the whole batch. I think I've got all I need. Mega Master 5 out of 10. See, that's how we do it. 5 out of 10 for the new batch. Grand Test, but I've got plenty of 5-star bots that have no use. They're all maxed anyway, no doubt. Spen's going for Wing Saber. He said, I presume that's it really. Rams has put if PAX SA was near bots for healing, that would be nice. Yeah, his SA is so spread out. Also, SLM was released for PAX. Yeah. I feel like if one of them was on him and then spread out, it wouldn't be too bad. But it's the target and goes forward. It should be on him, heal bomb, and then go to the next targets next to him. That'd be a lot better. That's the solution. It is. For Zone 17, just did 2 attacks. Snapdragon is 2 for 2 by himself. I know, but you understand that will get him nerfed even more, though. You understand that? And you got to think where it is as well. If people start doing that, people will start using flare mines. Try that. Good luck with that. So yeah, Tactics Spot, like I said last night, I think the elementals like Fire and Acid, Electric and Cryo, they should be mix and match. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It just makes... I understand it gives you more combos, but does it make people chase bots less, maybe? I just think that that's the case. At the minute, I'm after some electric bots. Some specific sort of electric bots doing certain jobs. That means I'm going leveling new bots, going chasing new bots. But if it was the case, then I've just put Fire and Cryo together, which are massively OP, both of them. I feel like Electric and Acid are kind of underpowered at the minute, and Fire and Cryo are massively overpowered. And so if you just combine the two, you can take out half the base as it is. So, and then we'll start seeing nerfs to Cryo and Fire. So I don't know about that. I get where you're going with it, but I just think it's dangerous ground. It's hard to control once. The more things can combo with each other, harder it is to control. Michael Nicholson, thanks for being a member. Has put nothing things out right now, which is sad because I would love Snapdragon to be relevant. Yeah, me too. Listen, I love Headmasters. I've always said that. I love the Headmasters cartoon. People don't really like it, but I love it. It's my favourite. Can't wait for Hardhead to come in the game. I'm glad that it wasn't instead of Quake because I was disappointed because I don't feel really like him. But love Hardhead. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed as well. Um, how does damage compare to Skylink? I mean it's different units, different bot. We can't just compare damage for everyone, can we? If that was the case, we'd be like, oh yeah, Pipes is rubbish because it doesn't do enough damage. It's different utility. Obviously, Skylink hits from range, and Snapdragon gets kind of a bit more close, different kind of bot. Luminas, but with Snapdragon, it's easy to win the bases. What? Can't ask, but I'd give this batch a C and a U. Oh yeah, no, Matt. Deshaun's put 7 out of 10 for batch 18. Okay. Metabear's unopened for now over Prime. That's it. Dark ones, I've got 3 out of 5. I might get those 2 just to use 5-star shards. Yeah, but you've got a shed load and still choose to pull Cheetor. I'm like that with a few bots. I haven't got Perceptor, RC, Windblade, Sentius, Rotorstorm. Refuse to go and get them. Don't want them. There's no more bots that I want out of that batch. Not that batch because I went different batches, but out of that batch of bots I've got left, I don't want any. Mega Master, even Optimal Optimus is better than this batch. That's a good batch. That's a really good batch. I think Broadside would be better. Yeah, I like Broadside, really do. Really good idea. Again, something a bit innovative. It was different. Nothing like him really. You could say Medibots with first aid, but I think he's totally different. Really like him. She's not a 5-star though, and does need a bit of tweaking though. Doesn't quite work right when I've tried him. Last science pop because everybody's already back in school and getting graded. Oh right, okay, yeah. We're not back yet. We just got our GC results today as a country, but yeah. Metabear 6-shot. 6-shot? Should do a cryogenic electric combo of one ability, maybe. Yeah, Dalton Spot. Love the Headmasters comic series from Marvel. Yeah, I'm more for the cartoon myself. With Fortress Maximus in it. Really cool. My favourite episodes those. Yeah, Cuddy Fox's book, Chrome Dome, Highbrow, Hardhead, Weird Wolf. Yeah, all those sort of bots. Missing all them. Really, really good bots. Last science, but after this batch release, all I have to get is gears. Cool. Mega Master, can you show the stats of Sandstorm? I don't mind while we're here. We'll go on to the next subject. He's not leveled though. Oh, is it? Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah, there we go. Good utility bot. Really good healing. I use this ability a bit, but I use this a lot more. This ability is amazing, honestly. What? This is what? 2730. What's going on with what? Sandstorm's healing's been reduced. 2730. It was a lot more than that. What's going on there? Yeah, Metabear's put still salted that Sandstorm supply got nerfed. I'll have a word with Dale because I don't think that's intentional. I think they fixed it on live. Let's have a look. Yeah, John 81 has got that supply which gains 20% health and regenerates health as well. So, yeah. I won't worry about it. And let's not say things like shadow nerf, things like that. Let's not get me started again on that. Yeah, grind time. I agree. Yeah, let's not start with that. I'll literally start muting people. I'm really annoyed with that, as you can tell. Don't start muting people, but don't start crying shadow nerf. Promise you. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, it's been fixed on live. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I'd have to look back, but no, 2.5K. No, it's not. What was it? 5K total. I remember doing similar to what It did similar to what Minerva did. Yeah, no, that's been nerfed. I'm sure it has. But yeah, I don't think it's intentional. I'll hit Dale up because that's if that's the case, then I'll have a word. I don't think that's right. We didn't talk about him once. Mega Masters put, yeah, I like the way he rushes to target. Yeah, let's not care about Sandstorm for the simple reason that we're not here to talk about Sandstorm. We can talk about another time. But let's hit Dale up first, give him a chance to fix it. And this is my big thing, literally. So I'm not going to go out and do a video now saying, oh, this Shadow Nerf Sandstorm. I'm going to go and speak to Dale and go, is this right? Is this correct? And he might go one or two things. He might even go, oh, my bad, I need to fix that. Alright, all good. If he turns around and goes, yeah, it's intentional, I'll have a discussion with him about it and then do a video. That's how we do it. Cool. Anyway, next up. So, surprise, surprise, in the store today is 5-star Powerglide. And I'm sure you were surprised, as I was surprised, when I saw this, because this is in test a few months back now. It's quite a while ago. So the last time this was really discussed was the 16th of June. And even at that point, it was kind of signed off as really done, I think. And I was obviously there for the start of this when we started balancing it, and I hit Dale up and I said, for me, I think he needs to take a Billbot out for the first hit in Prime League. Then I feel like the second hit is an AoE, so it's fine, do that amount of damage. You can take out 2 Billbots with him. Then for the third hit, it sort of disabled an area. I thought, oh, that's not bad because you can disable the MDS area. Then the fourth hit did triple damage. So I thought, I can use this bot. I could take out 1 Billbot for 3 ability points. I could take out another Billbot for 4. So I would normally use Smokescreen and use 6 ability points per Billbot. So I was like, okay, 3 and then 4. That's a cost reduction. That's a cheaper alternative. I like that. Then it disables an area. I was like, you know what? I might use that. I might not. But I've still got a cheaper Billbot destroyer in my team. So I don't mind that. And then with the triple damage, I thought I could do some damage around the cluster with that. So I can see some utility in this. I can seem a bit like Blue Streak. Blue Streak's damage evolves. So does Powerglide's. Powerglide was cheaper than Blue Streak at the time, remember? Because obviously Blue Streak's now had a buff where his cost got reduced. So I was like, I can see some utility in Powerglide. It's a jet, it's a different class. I don't mind that. I don't mind it. So it was doing around 6k damage for Billbot. Then it was doing like 18k damage, which is a lot, I'm honest with you. And we talked about it, I said 18k sounds a lot. So I said the magic number is, you know, around 12k. I think that's standard. But obviously being 3, then 4, and 5, and 6, it gets quite expensive. You know, and talking 6 ability points for the last one. But you've also got to use 3, and 4, and 5 to get there. So it's 3, 7, 12, 18 ability points. But for 18 ability points, you take a couple of Billbots out, you disable an area, and taking out an MDS maybe. Or 2 even, or whatever. But I was like, you know what? I don't mind that. I don't mind that. And I kind of like where we're at roughly. Fast forward another 4 weeks to today when I've seen 5-star Powerglide and thought, ooh, I didn't go for Trax because I feel like 5-star Trax was too similar. But Powerglide is a combiner bot. So I thought, maybe I might buy him. But then one thing hit me. This is supposed to be a legacy bot. Where's the legacy event? Is the legacy event coming? Because when they released Trax and Traxxas never supposed to be a legacy. Traxxas is always supposed to be in the store. And I think Dale's words to me were that, you know, certain bots that have got a high desirability, like Trax, like Cup maybe, will be in the store. And I was like, yeah, I kind of get that, you know. But Powerglide was always a legacy bot. Now it's in the store now, and we're not doing a legacy event. Trax has been announced as coming out next year. Does that mean we've got to wait till next year for Powerglide? I mean, I think we're going to wait till next year anyway for, you know, for Superion. What, a year? Powerglide? Is he that good? So here's Powerglide stats. And I thought, before I'm going to buy it, which I might, I'm going to look at his stats first. And let's just make sure that he's doing what he did. So the first thing I noticed was that just a bomb that deals 4,974 damage. So that's been reduced from what it was. Okay, well, he needs to take out Billbots, I mean. The way I vision using this, he has to take out Billbots in his first use. Maybe other people will see more utility, but for me, you can take out a mine with it, a spider mine, but spider mines generally get hacked or just destroyed. And then after that is Billbots. That's the lowest HP building. That's, you know, defense. So if we can't take out that, then what use has he got? So we're doing 5k damage. Then you're doing 5k damage in an area. But again, what's that going to do? And that's 4 ability points. So we just looked at Jetpack Sky Striker taking out a shield gen for 4 ability points. So this guy's doing 5k damage for 4 ability points. So if you wanted to use it twice in the shield gen to take it out, you're still talking 7 ability points to take out the shield gen. Dunno. And then disable an area for 10 seconds, but it's still doing 5k damage. So you can disable the NDS for 10 seconds, but as I said before, I'm not a fan of disabling things. Now, if that's part of the rest of the idea, that I'm killing build bots and doing good damage, then I can handle that disable. I can utilise it. But at the minute, I've just said that I'm not really feeling the first hit. I'm not really feeling the second hit. So why am I using the first and second hit to get to the third hit when I'm not really feeling that? Then we get to the fourth hit for 6 ability points. It deals 1.75 times the damage. So we've gone from 3 times the damage, which was 18k, which was OP. I get that. To 1.75. Now, when it was 6k, doing dual damage at 12k, I feel like it was balanced well doing 12k damage in an area. Maybe 11k even. You know, that's sort of roughly the right number. But because we've dropped the damage down of the initial one and dropped the multiplier down to 1.75, it's a double whammy. That all of a sudden now, it's like 8.5, 9k. And so, his AoE can't take out an area really. His first use can't take out a Bellbot. His second use can't take out a Bellbot. So, what's his utility? So we're going to put him down. 3 ability points. Let's try and take out a Billbot. Nope. And then look at his range. His range is a lot smaller than what it was on live as well. So he can't do the utility of taking Billbots out as well even. So he's not as good a smokescreen taking out Billbots, even for cheaper. So let's try and take out a Beam Laser. No, he ain't doing that. He's done damage in an area though. Let's disable all this area here. And now we've got the last ability, which does crazy amount of damage for 6 ability points. I've had to use 3 and 4 and 5. And can't even take out a shock tower. And I actually had a bit of an influence on this, I feel like. And I was really excited for this because it evolves. It's got different utilities, different uses. I was really excited for this release, and then I don't know what's happened. Because we were talking about 6 weeks ago. I thought it was ready to go. I thought it might have a bit more balancing. But the next thing we know is it's in the store. And, and I've sort of defended them recently, saying, have faith, but they're going to change the way they're doing things. And, there's no shadow on earth, it's just a bit of poor communication. And give them a break, guys. They've done 200,000 changes. And that's been my argument for the last few weeks. I've supported them. But they've not made 200,000 changes to this bot. The bot was there. They've made some changes behind the scenes, which it's not a shadow nerf, and they're well entitled to do that. But they've not even asked playtesters to test this. And they've done it off their own back without any idea on what it's actually going to do in the game. And so I just feel so deflated. Because I feel like we've gone backwards again. We've come out this other side of this big change of a different studio, and they've said, listen, things are going to change, things are going to get better, and I don't expect miracles overnight, but what I do expect is bots to be good. What I do expect is if we make changes, it's tested. What I do expect is that when things are happening, we know they're happening. So changes have been made to make it a bit crap, and playtesters didn't even know about it. It's not even spoke about. It's not even balanced. They released it and no one even knew it was being released. They not said, to us, listen guys, letting you know, Powerglide's coming out next week. I probably would have tested it behind the scenes, but I didn't even know it was coming out this week. It's just been put in the store. And it's just so poor. And to charge $45, $50 for this is an absolute joke. I'm sorry, listen, as you can see now, I will gladly defend them. I will gladly defend them if I think that, what they've said to me is right and what they're doing is right. But I can't defend this at all. The process has been poor. The communication has been poor. It's just been poor since day one. I'm really honest. And I'm really, really disappointed with them. Really disappointed. If the game continues down this path, you've already lost a lot of players. And the ones that are left that are supporting you and want to see this game do well, these are the things that need to change. These are the things that the people that are supporting you expect. Better communication, better bots, and just a bit of organisation. We've already said that there's no newsletter today. What? The batch is supposed to be out this week. The batch 18. It's been pushed back to next week. Things in there aren't working. You've got a week left. So all this scheduling is wrong. The time management is wrong. The communication is wrong. New Yodos saying Space Ape. So that's the headline. Really disappointed in it. Really, really disappointed. And I just can't see them changing this Powerglide round anytime soon. I don't think they've got enough time. They haven't got time to do a newsletter and haven't got time to balance batch 18. I mean, we had no endurance bot because they had to push that back. That wasn't ready. What is ready? It's just the same thing over and over again. Are they trying to do too much? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But it's really frustrating. Really is. Really disappointing. And, I've been really positive for quite a few weeks now. But I cannot sit here on good conscience and really say, listen, guys, this is going to get changed. Because you know what? It probably won't. I'm hoping I'm wrong next week. And I can say, you know what? The guys have pulled it out of the bag. But to improve batch 18 and to improve Powerglide within a week, I think it's a lot to ask. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see next week. But what do you guys think? I mean, I can't see anyone arguing with that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. So what people have put in. I'm honestly really, really disappointed, guys. I feel like I've honestly I've supported them and gone like, listen, stay with it, guys, stay with it, and all that. Even though people are going, no, like the crap, blah, and all this, and I call them names, stuff like that, and I'd be like, no. I'm going against the community, honestly, saying like, no, listen, you have to have faith that they're going to change. And this balance patch is going to take time, so I'm all for it. You know, it's going to take time, guys. But you don't have time in terms of batches. Why do it? The batch didn't have to come out now. It didn't have to. It can come out in a month's time. People can complain about it and moan about it, but it didn't have to come out. They've chosen to put this batch out now. They've chosen that. And still stuck for time. So annoying. Kai's Macarats, but surprise, surprise. Yeah. Trax says, but I thought Power Glide was supposed to be a legacy bot. Me too. This is crap. We're just going to start selling bots for $50. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Yeah. Twilight's put the amount of cyber exclusives now is crazy. Yeah, they're doing it. If they're going to start doing every bot, then I'm done. If that's the idea, they're going to put it in the batch and done, then I'm literally done. I don't mind spending $50 if I'm going to level some bots and get the bot out of it. And I've always said that the bot is kind of the cherry on top. The prize is getting the XP. But if you're going to make me pay $50 to get the bot, and then $50 to then level them as well, and level other bots, and double my money, then nah, I'll sit it out. And then when you couple that with the fact that Ruination can't do what it used to do, I'm paying triple the money that I used to. Yeah, I'll sit it out, thanks. Dread81 put Power Glide is still a bit lacking 5-star wise. It's still worse than Jetfire Striker. It's massively worse than Jetfire Sky Striker. Massively worse. Last Science put a lot of times something gets messed up when they add something else. I mean, is Ruination supposed to be rushing to where he drops his clones? I thought about that. But yeah, but they cleared it up, so that shouldn't happen as much. But we'll see. Yeah, but he is 3+1. He is. So yeah, tax support. Don't forget Power Glide Cyclones is the bot that introduced the evolution mechanic. Was it? Was it not Blue Streak? I thought it was Blue Streak. I might be wrong there. I don't know. Linus Collins bot, and we know you said you shouldn't be using a bot 3 times. Yeah, I did. But yeah, I did say that. I'm not gonna lie. But if you are going to use the bot 3 times and evolve, I kind of get it, but you know, it needs to be worthwhile. But that's why it's cheap, though. That's why it's only 6k damage. I don't know. I did say it, but I can't deny, can I? Meta Bear, are these permanent? I don't know. I don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, Dalton support not worth purchasing. Yep. Dustin Brilliant already. Skipping will wait. Already skipping will wait. Yep. Berserk put evolution mechanic is a bit of a miss. Any ability needs to be good on 1 or 2 uses. Yeah, I agree. It does need to be good on 1 or 2 uses, but the advantage of using it 3 or 4 times should be considerable. Because again, you're using 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. So you're using 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 5 is 12, plus 6 is 18. For 18 ability points, what are you getting? No, you can use Leo Prime twice for that and clear out half a base. So what are you getting for 18 points? Meta Bears puts Cyclonus is the final piece of 5-star Galvatronus. Yep. Berserk put the idea is worth entertaining only if the first use is good. Because the cost increase, a good argument to give any bot an evolution of some kind. Yeah. Candem has put, I like my idea for Power Glide and Cyclonus better. Well, let me know what it is in the chat. But I don't think that's going to happen now. They've sort of set on this, but it was alright, honestly. Berserk's put, they just need to make the bombs really big and high damage on the original ability. I know, but you can't have high AoE and high damage for the original ability because the range was stupid. You can't. We learned this from Leo Prime. You can't have big range, big damage in a big area. You can't. It's game breaking. There's got to be something that lacks. If it's great range and great area, it's got to be low damage. If it's great area and high damage, it's got to be low area. If it's high damage and high area, it's got to be low low distance. Or it's scam. Grandtimes they put Power Glide on steroids and neutered him. Yeah, I think that's what they did. They did him too far. Yeah. Power Glide's release will probably be in the newsletter, which will come out tomorrow. I know, but why isn't it out today? I understand that they're abroad, but are they still working? Are they on holiday? You know, if they're on holiday, then someone else should be doing the newsletter. I don't get this. You know, when I go on holiday from work, someone does my work for me behind the scenes. It doesn't work like that, but my work carries on when I leave. When they leave and they go and do these things, which is they're well entitled to, someone else needs to carry on. The game doesn't stop, so their job needs to either carry on with them when they go, or it needs to be done by someone else. There's no other option there. There's no other option. Someone needs to do their job, or they need to do their job. That's that. If you're working, the newsletter needs to be out. If you're not working, someone else needs to do it. What else? Grand Transport, if we don't buy them in the store, they will stop listing them in there. People will always buy it though. They always will. So it jumped ahead as realised. Candyman's put power glide ability, the power of love. Oh, I'm not sure I love that already, but drop cluster bombs on a single target, dealing X amount of damage. All deployed bots gain 6% damage reduction shield for 8 seconds. Is that alright? But I think you're sort of mixing damage and damage reduction. I think we've got enough damage reduction in the game. Most of them. I think giving him good damage was a good thing, but yeah. Michael Nicholson has put, and you are right. And it is a little sad if not. Because Powerglide is the OG of planes, and like Ultra Magnus, everyone wants it to be good. Especially with him being the 6th part of Superior. Yeah, I don't think that should matter really, being combined apart or not, but you know, and if it's the OG, I don't know, but it's a new release, so it should be good. You know, new content should be better than old content. I'm not saying massively OP, but it should be better. And it definitely isn't. Vic Jinx they put more and more 5-star stuff in the store now. 5k 5-star shards. I don't mind stuff like that. I don't mind them putting something in the store that's desirable. I don't mind that. You've got to make money somehow. But don't say something is going to be a legacy event and then not. You know, it's like the whole thing where Yanis said, yeah, collecting the 5 bots for Ruination is hard enough. We're not going to put more shards on top of that to combine them. And then they did that. Listen, don't say one thing and then do something else. That's what frustrates me. You know, this was always a legacy bot. Always was. So what's changed? Now listen, if they come out and go, listen, Power Glides are available next month, I think it's stupid that it's in the store now and in the legacy event next month, but I'm happy with that. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. But not 6 months later. Sorry. When it's been promised as a legacy event. So we'll wait and see, but we'll see. But even if they do that, I'm still disappointed about the whole process. It's been awful. Let's have a look. Just trying to catch up. Justin Billings put when the apes are on holidays, they better hope the maiden and turn off the server rack. Jenny Butler, is Trailbreaker core in game yet? I don't think it is now. Mega Master, what do you think about Rust Dust in max level? I think I'm just going to nerf him, her. Yes, they will. I'll guarantee it. Yeah, Candyman's put the girl who will power glide, but I get his point is that for Cyclones doesn't work, but just call it something else. They can have different names. All the abilities do. I mean, like, if you compare D16, who's called Rebellious Weapons, and then you compare Ryan Pax, which is Rebellious Weapons. Protector of the Lagoon. Are they all called the same? Don't do this to me. What? What? Full tilt. Capacitor burst. Nah, they're not all called the same. No, this is a new thing. Where's capacitor burst? Where's Brawn? Where's Brawn? There he is. There's definitely bots that are called something different. There definitely is. There definitely is. That's called the same. Death Kiss. I'm not having this. There's definitely some that are different. Definitely is. What? Cube said the antagonist is different. Is it? Definitely some. Omega Swipe and Alpha Swipe. No. No. That's definitely the same name. Omega Swipe and Alpha Swipe. There's definitely something different in there though. Yeah, there's something different. I'm telling you right now, there's something different. I'm gonna find one now. It's doing my head in. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. There is something different though, I know that. See, taxes, but I think they normalised the built-in names when they did the tooltip updates. Alright. Cheers, Dale. Thanks for that. Cosmos and Mind Wipe. Sonic Disruptor. And Cosmic, yes! Yes, Twilight. Well done. I knew some. Don't tell Dale. Candyman, yeah, Rodimus and Motormaster. I think you are right actually with that one. I think you are right with that one. Just play my own little game here now. Why not? Motormaster, Lightning Burst. Oh, I don't know. That wasn't called that, was it? Lightning Burst and have we got Rodimus? Lightning Burst and Matrix Burst. Yeah, that's slightly different. Yeah. Cool. $10 points to Twilight, yeah. Cool. Thanks, Twilight. Help me out there. Okay. Combiner tier list inbound. Cool. So I was going to use a thing to overcover this, but I've yeah. Let's pretend we never saw that. It's gonna get revealed, but I just wanted to do step by step anyway. So, yeah, so we're gonna do our combiner tier list. So as always, I've sort of predetermined the tier list, so we can sort of go through it and not sort of second guessing it on the go. But obviously, this is open to a bit of interpretation. Obviously, it's open to a few changes to some of these behind the scenes. Obviously, we've labelled them S, A, B, C, and D. D being quite useless. Don't really bother with them. C being, yeah, they're okay in certain situations. If you've got nothing else, really, they're quite good. B being, yeah, they're okay. They're alright, but they're not gonna be viable at higher levels. They're not gonna do anything really that well. A is, you know what, they're pretty good. Yeah, you can use these for level and stuff, but there's better options. And then S tier is obviously these are the combiners that you want to try and obtain and use at the top level of the game and for leveling and things like that. So to kick it all off, we have D tier, and first off we have Superion and Devastator. So granted, as you can see, for the first three combiners in D tier, they are 4-star versions, and Dale has said when they become 5-star versions, they will get a buff. But for the time being, these are pretty woeful. Superion and Devastator have had a few buffs over the years. Their main 4-star Ray, really good. But other than that, the rest is pretty crud. And even the Death Ray is not good anymore. Similar for Up Max, he has some good damage. The rockets are alright. You see him in Outpost at lower levels, but again, he's still not had a good enough buff really to be up there. And then Victorion and Menasor should be in a whole rank below everyone else in E. Really, really awful. We still see people all the time saying, like, when are they getting a buff? It is going to be when they get their 5-star versions. But even at 4-star versions, you'll see that there are 4-star combiners further up in the list. So regardless, that's not an excuse for them being awful. But these three are the pick of the bunch. Next up, we've got C tier, and there we have Defensor and Abominus. So, again, at lower levels, we see these on defense. They have got a huge amount of HP, and they have that shield on death. But other than that, it's just HP, really. So you can put them in Outpost, but I wouldn't advise it. But if you've got nothing else, then yeah, I mean, if you've got a choice between Defensor and Superion and Up Max and Victorion, then yeah, I would definitely put Defensor on hands down before the rest of them, definitely. But I wouldn't be going chasing any of these. Any of these combiners you see now, don't go and buy bots to go and chase them. Don't go and invest in them. I would literally just keep them at a low level for the time being. If you've got everything else maxed, then yeah, go and max them out maybe. But for mid-tier players and low-tier players, then I would stay well away from these combiners unless it's the only one you've got, and then you're kind of stuck. Next up, we got Raid and Dino King, and we've got Ruination and God Neptune. Obviously, Ruination, God Neptune, massive talking point. And I think the big point is that they are B tier now, I think, which is alright. They're okay. But they were literally used for leveling every single bot in the game. They were used for wars by every single player. And so, the apes talked about balancing things out. And I feel like no combiner should really be S tier, really. But we're obviously comparing some to others. And I just feel like there's some that are high, head and shoulders above everyone else, and the rest are kind of not where they need to be. But the problem we've got here is that, as you can see, that Raid and Dino King are still only 4-star versions. They're waiting for that 5-star version to come out. And I feel like Ruination and God Neptune with the 5-star versions is still only as good as Raid and Dino King. And you can see that they're the only 5-star combiner that's B or below. And that's the worrying thing, that the rest of the 4-star we can sort of say, well, they're going to get a buff when they get to 5-star. But Ruination, God Neptune are already 5 stars. That's the worry. And so, yeah, I feel like they do have some utility and can be used. And you do see some people saying, I think they're alright, actually, I can use them. Yeah, you can use them. They do have some uses. But for a 5-star combiner and getting 5-star bots, is this really what you want? B tier? I'm not too sure. Then we've got A tier. And A tier, we've literally got the two last 4-star combiners, which is Magnipus, and that is Magnabos and Tripredicus and Galvatronus and Skyrain. Now, these are the highest ranking 4-star combiners. And because of an A tier, you would hope that when they get 5-star versions, that pushed them into that S tier. And I think that's where they need to be. 4-star combiners right now should be around that A tier, pushing into that S tier when they become 5-star versions. So I feel like all the 4-star combiners in C and D tier are going to need a huge buff when they get the 5-star versions. I feel like Raiden and Dino King with the 5-star ability might push them to where they need to be. I feel like they're there or thereabouts right now. I feel like obviously Ruination got Neptune, obviously they're way too low and need a buff. But I feel like Magnaboss, Tripredacus, Skyring, Galvatronus are where they need to be. I feel like we shouldn't be in S tier as 4-star combiners. We should be saying go and chase the 5-star versions. They're a lot better. And obviously by this ranking, that's where they are. So as you can see, we've got Volcanicus, Predaking, we've got Omega Supreme Overlord, and we've got Computron and Alkaiser. And I really do feel like those 3 combiners have had a really good job, and they're really where they need to be. Really, really good combiners. And although I've put them in S tier, and I say S tier can be overpowered sometimes, I think that they're A tier. I don't think they're overpowered in S. If I'm honest, they could probably be the A tier with S tier just empty right now. I feel like they're where they need to be, with be a slight buff or a slight tweak, but nothing crazy. I feel like, as I said, Magnaboss, Tripredacus, Skyring, Galvatronus with a 5-star version will be where they need to be. I feel like Raiden and Dino King are not far off with a 5-star version. We'll have to see how good the 5-star version or the 5-star ability is. But then we've got, obviously, God Neptune Ruination, which definitely need a buff. And then you're hoping that the C and D tier combiners, as they become 5-star versions further down the line, you're hoping then that that will then fix them and make them good again. Here's hoping. So let me know what you think. Do you agree with my rankings? Do you think that any should go up, any should go down? Do you think I've got any wrong? Do you think that there's some of them should get a buff already before the 5-star batch comes out? A 5-star version, I'd say, not 5-star batch. Do you think they need a buff before the 5-star version comes out? Are they really that poor? Let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let's have a look what you guys have put. Tranks has put, guess who's going to be S tier? Spoiler, not Ruination. Berserk, S tier meant to be above the meta, not just the, but yeah. If I'm deadly honest, what I would probably do, I think that what I need to do is what I really need to do is this is what we need to do. This is where it should be. I've only had 4 though. I don't want to start putting loads in, but if I was doing it properly, like I feel like so we go a minute, and I'll zoom out and show you. And then let me just and that's it, guys. I feel like that's more accurate. That's probably where they all are accurately. So the B tiers are going to A, and I think they're where they need to be. I think C needs to go into A, and I feel like D's obviously needs a good improvement with the 5-star, a bit of a buff. The obviously Superion and Devastator, Opmax, and Bruscus need a good buff, and then Victoria and Menasor are on their own, way below. So I think that's probably more accurate, I'm honest with you. But again, I didn't want to put like 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you start adding too many tiers, it gets a bit silly. But I would say that's where it needs to be, I think. Vic Jing, Computron ARS tier. We'll put it this way. I mostly use Computron in Wars, but I know other people do use Omega Supreme, and other people do use Volcanicus. But we're going to talk about that shortly as well. Yeah, Berserk's put any combiner, use the benefit of neutralizing outposts. I think we need more that don't, though, to be fair. More outposts that don't. I think that'd be better. This is Max. I think we should separate Ruination from Ruination's holograms, at least for wars. Nope. Nope. He's awful. Could Fox put if they're working up in a combiner like Victorian or Superon, then we don't need massive cuts on Ruination. Massive cuts? Oh, you mean like, well, they still need improving though. Every combiner should be an A. Every combiner should be where these bots are right now. I think they're well balanced. I'd say A and B are where they need to be. A and B are perfect. They've got a place in the meta. B is not quite as good as A, but that's because of 4-star versions. I think that's perfect. They've got half of them right. These needed to buff at bottom. Fair enough. These C tier bots need improving when they become Ruination and God Neptune now, and Raiden as a 5-star version needs bringing up to A rather than B. Definitely. Kanji Makazitis, but I bet Wazza has thought more about this ranking and planning ahead than the Yodas have, maybe. Viching, is it a good idea to put Volcanicus in the Combiner Beacon? And we'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to go talk about Combiners and that in a minute, so yeah. Berserk's put the common problem with any Combiners is they die too quickly to do all their abilities. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. Darklands haven't really used Ruin since the nerfs yet. Me too. I tried him and I'm not using him since. Berserk's put good list. All Ruination was S. Yeah, I think that before would. Yeah, I think before it was this really, and that's the problem. And what they needed to do was bring him down here. This is what they wanted to do, and that I'd be fine with. But instead, they brought him down to there. That's the problem. Metabear Shield mentioned. Yeah, let's not do Shield. We'll talk about them again in a minute. I'll talk about the pros and cons in a minute, but yeah. Berserk's put future list if you could do A and A+. There's no A+, there's just S. That's it. That's it. But we'll keep that in mind. I might just add more tiers next time and do like, do it like this. Do 6 tiers, maybe. I think 7's a bit too 1, 8, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think 7's too much. Maybe 6, I think. Darklands has put below his buff, Ruin was below D tier. No, I think he was D. I don't think he's much better, honestly. Maybe it was below D, I don't know. It was definitely D at least. Cool. Okay. Next up. Hang on. There we go. That's better. So, with Ruination, obviously being nerfed quite recently, and the rest of the combiners being buffed, people are sort of talking at the minute about which combiner to use. And I think you'll find that if you talk to 100 people, you'll get a variety of answers. Some people will say Omega Supreme or Overlord. Some will say Computron or Alkaiser. Some will say Volcanicus and Predaking. And there's no right or wrong answer. But I thought it's important that, before you sort of make a choice on one of those three, which to maybe go for or which one to use, I thought it's important to go through the pros and cons and why you would maybe choose one combiner for one battle and one for a different one, or why you would stick to one maybe. And so I'm going to go through each one, talk about the pros and cons, why I would use them, why I wouldn't use them, and what situations to use them in as well. So first off, Omega Supreme. Now, I think out of the three combiners we're talking about, Volcanicus, Omega Supreme, and Computron, I feel like Omega Supreme has the most survivability out of the three. I find that he stays alive a lot more. And the way I sort of find that I'm using Omega Supreme is that I stay back quite a bit and clear an area in front of him rather than rushing in. I feel like when we use Ruination on the bots, you tend to rush in first, have that protection, do a bit of damage, do damage in an area. But I feel like Omega Supreme hasn't quite got that amount of survivability. But he does a lot of damage in a small area. Can clear out a really, really good area. Now, the electric and the fire don't really match in terms of overlapping each other and comboing. But with that, and with the after death ability of the lightning bolts, or the after death ability of the 4-star as well, with the reflection shield, I just feel like there's a lot of utility in him, staying alive and keeping your bots alive and doing lots of damage. So Omega Supreme is really good, but it's not my combiner of choice, because I like to be able to do some damage where I want it, not just where I drop the combiner. But it does have a good use in that sense. Next up, we've got Volcanicus. And I feel like Volcanicus, generally, I use him if I want to do some damage and the area is quite far away and it is a cluster. So generally, if I get rid of the shield gen and I want to get rid of the MDS and the Liege Core and the general cluster around, then Volcanicus is the bot. I feel like he's wasted trying to do damage from on the launch pad where he sort of is set. I feel like you want to get him in position. And because you've got the 5-star, which will protect him a bit, not too much, but then you've got the 4-star, which does protect him and gives him more damage reduction. And then you've got the extra fire damage as well. It just all seems to sort of stack on top of each other and do loads of damage in a small area. Where I find if you sort of use him in sections, it doesn't quite hit as hard, but can clear out a certain area really, really well. So for me, if there's an area, especially a cluster, without the shield gen, I do like to take away that first, and you want to get rid of that, then Volcanicus is a really good option. If you don't get him within that sort of meteor space, if you don't get him within that extinction space, then he dies very quickly. He is very squishy, and so you do need to get him in that extinction area and keep him in that area. If you do that, you can normally get him within that area, get a 3-star ability off, get his 5-star off, and then get another 3-star ability off in that area. You can actually keep him alive quite well, but he needs to get in position quite quickly. If you can do that, he's really effective. The downside, no, we'll come back to that in a minute. In terms of Computron, I really like the fact that he does huge amount of damage. It's cryo as well, not really something people counter right now, and so he does a crazy amount of damage. Also, that hack immunity, if you drop him when Cosmos drops or Mind Wipe, it just means that it gives you that hack immunity from that. It gives you hack immunity from the Age, gives you hack immunity from Peacemaker as well. So there's multiple reasons to give that hack immunity, and with hack being so prevalent in the game right now, it's really, really cool. Obviously, his hack is crazy good as well, don't get me wrong. And obviously, the utility of the fact that he can't get hacked by another combiner. There are occasions, although rare, that my bots do get in trouble, and I think I need to pop my combiner. I pop my combiner down, and then all of a sudden, Loudkaiser pops out and hacks my combiner, and I get nothing out of it other than avoiding abilities. Where at least with Computron, you've got that safety net, where if it gets hacked, you've not got to worry. I like the fact he's got stealth as well. It's not a shield like the other bots. So he's got stealth. He's literally invisible. So he's taking no damage at all. So he's slightly a different utility. But then when we look at some of the bots. So looking at Volcanicus. The problem with Volcanicus is that he's countered by 2 build bots. You've got the FFD, which removes the reduction of damage, which is in his 4-star ability and in his 5-star ability, so it nullifies that. And you've got the anti-fire build bot, which reduces his damage. So the whole thing about Volcanicus is damage and damage reduction. Keep him alive in an area and doing a huge amount of damage without taking them build bots out fast is a bit of a risk. And I find that, again, that's quite well balanced, because I feel like he probably does the highest amount of damage in an area out of all the combiners at the risk of having the most counters as well. So make sure you take out them build bots first, guys. Into the Computron, I find it really hard to get both his 5-star and 4-star abilities in the same area to work. Because one hacks, and when you hack something, you want it to speed up and do loads of damage in an area. And then when you put the 5-star version down, it slows that down. So the two don't work together. Now, if you use the hack and then use the cryo on top, it will clear an area. But you'll find that the cryo and the 3-star ability already combo each other and probably work better if you can get him in place. It's quite squishy. You've got to use that 3-star ability first. If not, you're not going to get both abilities off. You're not going to get the 4-star and 5-star off, guys. I've tried. You need to hit that stealth straight away. He is countered by the anti-hack build bots, but that's it. There's only one build bot that counters him. So that's not bad. That's not bad. You have got the anti-cryo build bot for the 5-star version, but it's not really used that much right now. People use it for ruination, but people not really cottoned on. So the 4-star and 5-star, although both countered by different things, aren't really in the meta right now. So it's still quite viable. If they are in the base, you're looking at one of them. You very rarely see 2 anti-hacks, 2 anti-cryos, or even an anti-hack and an anti-cryo. You might find one of them at a push. So at least you can use your ability without even taking out a build bot. But it's only one build bot at most. Then on to Omega Supreme. So Omega Supreme is obviously counted by the anti-electric build bots. And other than that, he's not really countered by anything. It's only the 5-star ability. The reflection is really good. It's got 2 after death abilities, which are really cool. So they've all got a use in the game. That's what I'm trying to make out. If you want to use someone on the launch pad, take out an area, reflect some damage from ability damage, then Omega is your person with only electric build bots to counter. If you want to do some wide area damage, anywhere on the map, really, you've got good range, then Computron's your person with very limited counters, really, in the meta right now. And if you want to do some damage, focused damage in an area, then Volcanicus is your man. We'll take out a great cluster of defenses at the cost of the build bots. So all 3 have got really good utility. You will speak to some people, they'll say Volcanicus is best. Some people will say that Computron is best. Some people will say Omega is best. And I don't think any of them are right, any of them are wrong. It depends how you use them. But the point I'm trying to make is that they're all well balanced. They're all well used in the game. They've all got their uses. And I think that's where they need to be. And I feel like if we get Ruination up to that level, where he's got a niche in the game, he's got a use, I feel like we'll have got it right. And this is the standard now for all 5-star combiners, to have a use in a certain situation and do that really well. Have an after death ability and maybe be countered by at least one build bot. That's generally the consensus that I find. So let me know what you combiner you're using was. Do you use any of these 3? Do you use someone else? Is there one of these that you're chasing right now and you think will be the combiner for you? Let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think. So what were you guys saying? Down support, I found Volt stay alive longer as long as you use the abilities in the right order. Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to that a bit. Me personally, I feel like I use the 4-star ability. Then the 3-star ability, then the 5-star ability, then the 4-star sometimes again, then 3-star again. No, sorry. So 4-star ability, 2-star ability, 3-star ability, 5-star ability, and then usually 4 and 3 again. You can usually get them off, maybe. Let me know what you use, Darklands, in the comments out of interest. But yeah, put Volt destroys cluster bases. Yeah, definitely. Darklands, I go 5, then 4, 2, then 3. 5, then 4, 2, then 3. Yeah, I just feel like you need to get him inside that 4 quicker. I used to use the 5, then 2. 5, then 4, then 2. Yeah, but I feel like the 5, because it's only 30, if you get him in the 60% quicker, he stays alive longer. So it's using the 4, using the 2, using the 3 or the 5 first, and then trying to just get off whatever you can basically in that area. So yeah. Candyman's put his 5-star ability should also work on bots when used for attack. Who do you mean? Who's 5-star? You mean Omegas maybe? I don't know. Darkland's stealth is broken at the minute. Why? It's working for me fine, I think. Yeah, Darkland's put you see anti-hack build up more in lower bases. Yeah, true. Yeah, Twilight's put it's up to user's preference. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Grand Transport, I don't know right now. Omega's the only combined I trust in a trap war, and he chases his 5-star ability and gets himself killed sometimes. Yeah, I think it needs to sort the range out maybe of that. I did notice that on Computron as well, his 5-star ability, but yeah, I use Computron. This is the good thing, you see. You're saying you use Omega, which is fine. I'm saying I use Computron. Darklands uses Volcanicus. So I think that when you've got that, when you've got 3 different people all saying they use 3 different things and do well in wars and stuff, then I think you've got the balance right. And this is what we're talking about this patch. This is what we want. We want 3 and Darkland's support. I use all 3. Even better than this is the point. This is what we want. We don't want content that's all the same. People are like, oh, what's the point in chasing new content? It's all the same. No. It addresses a certain instance and a certain situation. You know, if we're talking electric bots, you would have 1 long range, 1 short range, 1 high damage, 1 utility, 1 support, 1 rushing, whatever that's electric. You get the idea. You'd have different kind of things you can use within that, and that's the idea of it. And I feel like with the combiners we've got there, I really do think they're well balanced. I really do. I think they're doing a really good job of them 3. But let's just hope they can get the rest of them to that standard as well. Cool. And next up, we've got a huge exclusive. Now, I did hit the team up today to ask them, can I talk about this? But it is very, very early days, so I can't say too much. But the team are in the process of creating a new defense. Now, I'll say that, and people will be like, well, yeah, we know that HQ19 is going to bring some new things. No. HQ18. This is hopefully going to become here sooner than HQ19. It's going to be here for HQ18. It's still in early days of testing. There's still a few bugs, still a few things that they need to sort out, still a few things that they need to address in terms of it. But I like it because it's something different. It's something innovative. And when I first heard about it, I was like, I don't know if I like that or not. Oh my God, like, how would that even work? And then I started thinking about how I would work it on defense. I was like, that could be interesting. And then I started thinking on how it would really mess up people's attacks. I was like, yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be good for defense. And got me thinking a bit. So I'm quite intrigued and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the release. Like I said, there was an issue with it, which people sort of questioned in playtest, asking how would it work in this situation. And to be honest, the 8s weren't sure. I think they thought, well, we've not really thought about that. And so that's something to question. But it's something new. It's something innovative. It's coming before HQ19. And I'm quite excited for how it might work. So watch this space. We'll hopefully bring something to you guys soon when we can talk about it a bit more. But it has been put on hold right now while I sort a few bugs out and address a few issues and how it's going to work. But I'm hopeful that it's going to be pretty cool and add a whole new element to base design. What do you guys think it is? Let me know in the comments what you guys think it might be. If you're in playtest, don't say anything. Yeah, I mean, for me, Volcanicus, go back to that a minute. Volcanicus, Omega, and Compton are that good on offense. I won't put them in an outpost. I'll put Raiden in or Skyrain or someone right now because they're that good. I can't put them on defense. That's what it's the same with Ruination. The same thing. We're like, oh, I won't put Ruination on defense. He's so good on offense. He's a waste on defense, and it's the same situation now with them 3. Michael Nicholson Sport. I I want to use confidently any means, but I keep him on defense. So I use Omega a lot. Yeah, it's fine. Listen, again, I've put Omega in Outpost 4 now, but again, I still use Omega on attack, so he's still good. Candyman Sport, I was meaning Volcanicus Megatronus effect. Oh, his 5-star ability should also work on bots when used for attack. Oh, it doesn't. What? It does. It should give his bots. It should give the bots. It should give them a Megatronus effect. I mean defense, you mean? It does work on offense. Should do anyway. Darkland Spark Exchange. It's not that. I'll say that. Traxxas, but I keep raiding on defense since comp is viable on offense again. Yeah. I think I've got Skyway on defense, I think now. Yeah. Cuddy Fox put maybe add to the Alliance Island. Yeah, that's been forgotten. I was going to do a video on that actually. I thought about that. I want one island to increase chances for premium shards. I don't think that'll happen. That's just drop rates. Yeah. Michael Nicholson's put, going back to a previous week's discussion about synergy, I made a suggestion they should revisit the squad cores. Maybe do cores aligned with combiner teams and bonus that combiner. Yeah, the problem they've got is that they don't match. Combiners don't match. There's some bots like Trax and Cutthroat. What do they do about that? Because Trax is not a combiner bot, but Cutthroat is. And you're kind of giving Cutthroat then a massive advantage. But I get what you're saying, but I'd just do that anyway. I would. But I understand what you're getting at. I did a video on that. It's something I wanted to sort of do, and that was the answer I got. But I don't know. Darkness put bots do get Megatronus effect on death. Yeah. Do you mean defense then? Does he mean on defense? Candyman, let me know what you mean in the chat. I think you mean defense, don't you? I don't know if it works on defense or not, but it doesn't on offense. Twilight's put another variant of the autocannon. No, something new. It's completely new. No even close, guys. Not even close, honestly. Like, it's out there. It really is out there. Honestly, nothing like we've got nothing like it in the game. Nothing like it. It was quite good actually. I was quite happy because again, I've always said it even needs to be, better than old content and at least innovative. If it's innovative but not better than old content, I don't mind. I kind of get it. If it's better than old content but not innovative, I kind of get it. It's an upgrade. If it's both, I think you hit the jackpot. So, this is definitely innovative. Definitely is. So I'm very excited to see where it goes. I've got a few ideas myself that I might put into Dale about it. And yeah, that'd be interesting, I think. So yeah. Elemental wall charger. No. Trax, the new defense will be in store for $50. Oh my god. I don't even want to say it won't be because you never know, do you? Honestly, yeah. You'd think not, but hey, who knows? Cuddy Fox, but what lost me is why some bots that are not G1 bots are getting G1 cores. Well, they're not called G1 cores either. They're called bot specific cores. That's the thing in a minute. Dinobot and Tigerheart. And Tigerheart got a G1. We're talking about playtest, I'm sure. Tigerheart got a G1? Maybe he's not. Maybe I dreamt it. There was a bot we're talking about, and I was like, I didn't even know he had a G1. I thought Tigerhawk. Might be wrong. Don't know. Michael Nicholson's bought a hollow decoy generator. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Popping out hollows. Don't mind that actually. Oh, Darkland's bought no, it doesn't, so I won't bother. I'll trust you. Cuddy Fox, but no, that was too low for SA to price the new defense. To be fair to give them props, they have reduced the price of the stuff to be more reasonable. I will give them that. I will. But there's just too much going on in the store now. It's getting a bit silly. Get a bit silly, it is. Cool. Right, I think we are going to leave it there for the night, guys. Much appreciate everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to hit a like before you leave. And don't forget the most important thing, to subscribe. Don't forget. Massive shout out to my members. Huge thank you for supporting me and sticking with me all this time, especially those long serving members. Much appreciated. I am going to do something soon for my members. I have thought about something, so that will be coming soon as well. So big shout out to members, like big thank you. Big shout out to everyone subscribed. Big shout out to everyone who's joined the stream. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next week, guys. Tune in for more information, all this stuff we talked about this week. See you next week, guys, and peace out.